Vidit, very nice talking to you. And in a very short span, you built such a remarkable business. It has grown. We've all been a witness to the size, scale, and impact that you've created with Meesho. Tell me what's happening right now in this COVID times.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, Shraddha, for inviting me to this program. I think I have read your story for now about 8 years. I still remember the first time I started to read about the whole startup sector. Your story was the first time I started to know a lot about these companies. So, kind of happy to be here and share what we're doing at Meesho. So, I think COVID-19 obviously has been a big challenge for all of us, especially for our entrepreneurs, for our suppliers. To just before I go on, I'll just give you a brief overview of how the business looks like, right? So we have about 3 million women entrepreneurs who run their WhatsApp or Facebook boutiques. And,
Hmm.
and these boutiques could be around fashion, lifestyle, accessories, jewelry, anything that they like, right? And they start selling them in their own community. And on the other side of the marketplace, we have close to 50,000 manufacturers and some wholesalers across the country. And all of these are very, very small because everything that we sell is long tail and unbranded.
Hmm.
And uh, COVID-19 mostly has impacted the smaller guys, right? People who did not have so much working capital, people uh, who were not ready for it, like people who don't have so much cash reserves. And we saw it on both sides. We saw it with our manufacturers, like a lot of them ran out of business. A lot of them are based out of Maharashtra and Gujarat, which are
Oh,
still shut down, right?
yeah.
6.5 months and going on, and they don't know when they'll be allowed to come back. And they have to feed their families, their employees, and it's extremely hard. And we see the same thing even on our demand side, which is these entrepreneurs, where a lot of what they were selling comes in non essentials. So for most of the last 2 months, they were not allowed to do anything. And even when things have started to come back, a lot of these categories will come back slowly, right? So there was obviously a lot of pent up demand. Some categories continue to do well, but a lot of fashion, lifestyle will come back really slowly because people are not going out anymore. The same number of events or marriages are not happening. So
Yeah.
how they do it, and we have seen extremely very high amount of resilience on both sides. So everyone is trying to figure out how do they do something to continue income. So we see a lot of our women entrepreneurs started picking up newer categories. So they said, I will now start selling only in essentials. I'll figure out how can I start recommending products in packaged food, or
Hmm.
how can I start recommending products in health and wellness, something that people don't know about, or can I start even doing grocery? Like grocery is a new initiative for us when we saw a lot of these guys doing it, and some people were very, very forthcoming because they could not sell anything else, and demand is also muted for other
So
things.
you are doing grocery now.
Yeah, we have started to do some bit of grocery, mostly based out of Bangalore, and we see a lot of them wanting to do this. We see the same thing on a manufacturer side. So a lot of people in a very short span of time change their manufacturing from manufacturing sari suits or kurtis to now making masks. Because everyone is buying masks, they're saying we will now manufacture this because we don't know when the demand will come back. People will definitely buy masks for some time. And these are fashionable masks, by the way, something that you can match with whatever you wear, etc. So this is extremely high amount of resilience because people are trying very innovative ways to survive this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's inspiring because that also tells us that hey, we need to help them out, and
Yeah.
we have done a lot of stuff around enabling them. So we are doing certain policies towards our suppliers, helping them give data around, like for example, what kind of masks to sell, how to price them because they've never done this before. We've built a platform for some of the new categories for our women entrepreneurs who are trying this for the first time. But all of these things inspire us and say, okay, hey, we need to kind of figure out newer things for them so that they keep thriving. And when we speak to our women entrepreneurs, by the way, a lot of them now feel higher pressure to support their family
Yeah.
because their husbands are not making the same amount of income, which means their contribution to the family income is much more important. So they have like, hey, I need to make this happen. And some of them are spending much more time doing this, giving all they have when their kids are at home. So they have to do, like the households are much more busier, but they still have to do this on the side. So all of this is very inspiring for all of us, and what we are trying to do is help them in any way possible.
What are some of the things Meesho as a platform does to create more women entrepreneurs, and also the women entrepreneurs who are in your platform? How does it enable them to earn better income, better money, better livelihood?
Yeah, so all of this starts from day one. Like, for example, who we target today, we target women who have, in some form or the other way, have been trying to kind of start some home-based business. To now, before that, let me take a step back. So in India, if you have looked, like, I saw my mother, I saw my family members. A lot of them were homemakers, but they still wanted to have their own independent identity, right?
Absolutely.
I wanted to do something on my own, and a lot of them would start some home-based business. It could be starting a boutique out of the house, or it could be
Yeah.
making theplas and selling around, or it could be becoming tuition teachers to kids around them. But it's having your own identity, right? And
Yeah.
that's very, very important.
Yes.
But a lot of these things to get started with requires capital. Like, if you want to start a fashion boutique, you need to go to a wholesale market and buy products. And in India, a lot of families do not support some of these women with whatever they want to start with.
Yeah.
So the biggest problem we solved was, we knew there are a lot of such women out there already who are saying, hey, I want to start a fashion boutique, but my family does not help me with capital. And our pitch is very simple. We say that I will let you start your own business online. You can start whatever kind of boutique you want, and you will not have to put a single rupee of investment. And that is supremely liberating for them, because the biggest obstacle, the biggest challenge in the whole path of starting your own thing goes away.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we did, right? We just said, hey, we have built a platform, you can come here. And we've built a journey where we solve each and every problem of, like, whatever you have until you become a successful entrepreneur, right? So on day one, you know you want to start a boutique online, but you have no idea of how to do marketing online, of how to get your customers, of how to give them a great experience, of how to kind of create offers, of how to stand out, how to create videos of selling these products so you become differentiated in your own community, right? So the first thing that we do is we train them through a lot of content in our app. We also have a lot of mentorship initiatives on our platform, where we connect you to one of our top sellers who've been on the platform for quite some time. And she will act as a personal mentor for about 30 days and kind of take you to a certain level so you feel confident, I can run this. And after that, we manage most of the journey on our platform, mostly with tools. So we give you access to, like, all possible categories now. It could be apparel, it could be accessories, it could be home and kitchen, it could be beauty and cosmetics, it could be wellness. So whatever category you like, you can pick up and start your online store in that category. And we provide tools around, again, creating content. So you can create a video, you can create differentiated content in terms of creatives, and access all kinds of social platforms wherever your community is, be it WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, anything wherever your community is. We've built nice integration so you don't have to do a lot of hard work to get started. And then managing your journey end to end. How do we create a brand in front of your customers? So basically, the entire journey of you running an online store gets managed by us.
Yeah.
What you do is what you like doing more, which is curating products, getting the right thing in front of your customer.
You know, while you were saying this, I remember a story which I heard, is that there is this lady on your platform. She lost her husband, and then she lost her son, and and I think she spoke in one of the forums or events that you organize on how she is today self-reliant and not dependent, because, you know, through Meesho, she's able to sell and she's able to earn the livelihood. I want to understand that today, like, what are some of the things you would say that needs to be done, not just necessarily from you, because you are already doing and creating this platform, but, you know, from the larger ecosystem, from the government, from us as a country, as a nation, to enable women to earn more?
Yeah, I think all of us have a very, very strong part to play. So you were talking about one story. Our platform is filled with stories of women who are like widows and have to support their family, support their kids. We, like, just yesterday, I was seeing a story, like a video of a lady who sent it to us, who's a handicapped lady, right? Very educated, but handicapped. And that's why she could not find any job out there. And because of her platform, now she runs a successful online business. So our platform is filled with stories of people across the country who just figured this out and then started doing this. And in many cases, we see a lot of these women get recommendations from someone in the family who see, hey, this, like my chachi or my bhabi is looking to do something. I know she doesn't feel very well, but if I recommend it to her, I'll help her in setting the store in the beginning, and then it'll start to pick up. So I'm saying all of us can play a part wherever we see that someone is looking to do something. If we just recommend them the right platform, help them the first few steps, and then their motivation, intrinsic motivation is enough. They just keep going and keep doing it forever and after. So I think all of us have a part to play. We know these opportunities exist. If we can just take and make them discover to the right people, a lot of women around us can achieve their goals, achieve their dreams of kind of building something of their own.
How is Meesho as a product different? How have you understood your customer base? Did you do something different? And how are you leveraging your channel partners? Because I think you have partnership with Facebook and other platforms. What are you doing to make it easy?
Yeah, so when we started off, by the way, for the first 6 months of a company, our product was nothing but multiple WhatsApp groups.
Huh.
We did not even build an app. We thought, we don't know if this audience out there can use an app to run this business. So we said, let's just sit on a WhatsApp group, something that all of them relate to, and help them get started with this. And we used to just send broadcasts, chat with them, talk to them, understand their queries. And over time, we realized a lot of these women who spend so much time on the smartphone by staying at home have now figured everything out. And that's when we moved here. But we see that they continue to use WhatsApp with their customer base. So
how long were you on WhatsApp?
Come again?
How long were you on WhatsApp?
About 6 months. Like 6 months, no app, no website, nothing. The whole business was WhatsApp groups and an Excel sheet. That's all.
Interesting.
And we just figured it out from there. And we saw that these women use this. So I don't agree with the fact that a lot of them don't know how to use technology. And that's why they figured out using WhatsApp, Facebook. So 80% of all commerce that happens through a platform happens on WhatsApp, where people are connecting with people around them, their family, their friends, their neighbors, and they create WhatsApp groups, create their identity, put very nice logos on a daily basis, put some fancy content. Now they use WhatsApp status and put again videos of themselves wearing a particular product or using a particular product, and then recommending that, hey, why you should buy something like this, right? But all of this is happening on WhatsApp, on Instagram, in their own community. We have seen it just picks up very well because these are familiar platforms. All their family and their community is already here. Yeah. And that's where our relationship with Facebook and WhatsApp comes in. And that's been a great relationship for us. Now they are one of our investors. They've always been very, very helpful. And we see that these are great platforms for people to connect with each other.
If I have to ask you, what is one, if you have to tell me one key driver, and today you are a very successful entrepreneur, young entrepreneur who's achieved. Meesho is a brand. We hear you a lot in the news. We watch the progress. But today, if you have to say what was the one reason that got you started? And what is that one reason that keeps you going? It's like the key driver that keeps you going. What would that be?
So when we started, our focus was, hey, a lot of brands, organized products have come online, but small businesses are mostly offline still, right? What can we do? How do we leverage technology to get a lot of these guys up, right? And we built our first product, Meesho. That's why it comes from Meri Shop, and we put it together to make a nice name. But Meesho meant my shop. We wanted to give each and every small business in India a shop of their own. And when we put the product out, and suddenly we started seeing a lot of these women started to use these products, we just kept building it for them only after that. And what inspires us and drives us and motivates us every day is just the impact that we have on them. By the way, on a daily basis, I speak to a lot of our users. And if you speak to them, they say, before I became a Meesho entrepreneur, in my own community, people used to call me someone's wife or someone's mother or someone's sister. Now everyone call me by my own name because they recognize me by my own business, right? And when you hear stories like this on a daily basis, there's no other fuel that you need. And
Yeah.
this is not just for me, for the whole company. If you
Yeah.
come to our office, everywhere on all walls, we have just put stories of our own users. And you come and see it twice a day and you get inspired enough to do whatever you want to make sure that this can happen at a much larger scale. Of how can you make them more and more and more successful?
If you have to talk about payments in India, because you said that technology, you're seeing that for women, technology is not a barrier, it is not a challenge, and today they are leveraging your platform to build their business, to earn a livelihood. What would you say that what are some of the things that we need to do from a tech perspective and more so from a payments perspective?
Yeah, so since all of this commerce now happens on social platforms, right? WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and all of these platforms, by the way, people started to use for commerce, but they were not built for commerce so far. So if you look at it, it's very, very hard. I remember when we started to go out for our first few fundraisers, people used to be surprised about who buys on WhatsApp. Like, how can you buy on WhatsApp? How do you pay on WhatsApp? So these platforms people started to use, but they have not been customized for it. So right now, collecting and paying on WhatsApp before payment started to come was extremely hard. I have to take either your bank account details or I have to take what your Paytm or a PhonePe or a GPay account is. So I think payments is generally one of the biggest friction points in any form of commerce. And when, for example, WhatsApp payments is coming in, a lot of these problems will get solved
Yeah.
because all of these businesses are collecting payments on WhatsApp. And as you add more and more steps, you are essentially asking more and more people not to transact on these platforms.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole of the country, all small businesses in India right now using WhatsApp to buy or sell. So I think payments now is much more evolved as compared to when we started the company. At that time, we had to kind of figure out hacks to kind of somehow run this. Now with WhatsApp payments coming in, I'm sure something will come in Instagram or Facebook also later on. Some of these things will become like a breeze for everyone. And I think it should just grow the amount of commerce that's happening on these platforms also.
Yeah. Vidit, now I want to ask you a question on behalf of all the entrepreneurs, startups. Uh, this has been a very difficult, the last 2 months has been very difficult. And I just don't think so things have ended because we don't know, because most of the experts we are talking to, most of the investors we are talking to are saying that be prepared for the next 1 year, if not 1.5, next 18 months. Tell us what has been difficult for you, what has been challenging for you, so that we all feel normal and okay that it was not just us. And tell us, how are you navigating these times?
Yeah, I think I don't know if like we have navigated yet, right? Like just all of us are in between the whole thing. But we have a North Star very clear. We have our women entrepreneurs and we measure ourselves by the kind of impact we create in their lives. As I said, last 2 months created certain different challenges for them. They could not figure out how to maintain the same amount of income. And just in a few weeks, I would not say few weeks, in a few days, the whole team started figuring out what kind of new categories can we bring into the platform. Because the core business is not happening anymore. Government just banned it, right? So now what we said, okay, let's figure out who the user base is. A lot of them have been ex-teachers. Can we help them, like for example, sell edtech products? Let's try this out. Okay, what else can we do? We started seeing grocery is one big category that a lot of people would want to buy online. Can we help them, for example, start these categories? So all of us were thrown into like a very, very uncertain time, and we started these initiatives, all of them very new, but we never planned for them, right? And we had to do it in a week, considering what happened because of the lockdown. But I think everyone is affected. All of these things will take a lot of time to come up. What we are trying to do is help our sellers in any way possible. We said, okay, you can't do anything else. Why don't you just make masks at home? So by the way, over the last few weeks, our women entrepreneurs have stitched about 1 lakh masks, and we have bought it from them and then we have donated elsewhere. So they are making income by just stitching masks. And now we're scaling that initiative and we will even let people buy these masks from them. Because if they can't sell it, why don't they just make masks at home? So these are some new opportunities that were never there on the platform. And we started giving it to them so that they have some way of making income. Because that's how we measure ourselves, right? So our North Star is clear. We have started a lot of new initiatives to help them out, make some income. The great thing is now at least some restrictions on lockdown have started to come out. So now we are seeing some of these businesses come back. They're making money again for the first time. They're really happy and hoping things come back to normal. As you said, we don't know. There could be a second wave coming soon. Things could become really bad. But I think now we are much better prepared than what we were like 2 months ago. So fingers crossed, hopefully things will come back to normal really soon. But until then, we'll keep fighting and we'll try doing whatever we can to kind of help our women entrepreneurs survive during this whole time.